The Irish teams had a bit of a mixed bag performance this weekend. Honestly, in my opinion, they all did perform well. Leinster maybe had a disappointing win against Scarlets, but overall, they all played well. Yes, Munster did lose to the Bulls, but it was still a good performance from them to bounce back from last week, losing 45-0 to the Sharks in Durban, to go and play, in my opinion, a stronger team with a lot better players and almost get the win. I mean, obviously, they did bring back guys like Jack Crowley, Craig Casey had a good game. The Dogball brothers played really well, but that is overall a big positive for Munster right now. They are kind of hanging in the balance with 41 points and 7th on the log right now, with Connacht and the Bulls really pushing them and the Sharks from behind as well. But the Munster team right now, I don't think they should fear much. I think, honestly, if Munster just sticks to their guns, plays their best players, they'll be fine. This Munster team historically can beat almost any team in this competition or any team in any competition. That's the one thing with Munster. They have that self-belief that they are Munster and that they can beat everyone. So I do think Munster, no matter where they are in the playoffs, they'll probably be happier to play against Leinster in Leinster than they would be to play against the Stormers in Cape Town, because they would prefer to play within Ireland. They'll probably get a big support as well. And to be honest, I think Munster probably is Leinster's biggest threat if they had to play against each other. I mean, Munster's got this kind of thing where even if they're playing bad rugby, they can just go and beat Leinster. So right now, that is probably Leinster's biggest threat if they had to go to the playoffs. But it'll be very interesting to see who they might play. Right now, if the tournament had to end exactly as it is right now and they had to go to the quarterfinals, Munster would be touring to Cape Town to play the Stormers, and I think, honestly, with the Stormers' form, they probably would have a good chance. But if the Stormers everything does click for them, that would be a tough game to play. Looking at Leinster, if they had to go to the playoffs right now, they'd be playing against the Lions in Leinster, in Ireland, and I do think this Lions team is very good. I think they're one of the best South African teams right now. But I just think they're not a good team away from home up north in the Northern Hemisphere. Yes, right now the conditions maybe are swinging in the Northern Hemisphere to more of a South African climate for those players. I know they're used to playing in the sun. They're used to playing in better conditions. When they do go up north in the heart of winter, they really do struggle. So maybe the conditions right now could suit the Lions. They are playing phenomenal rugby. But I just think this Lions team is a bit of a different beast in Johannesburg at Ellis Park playing at home. I just think Leinster at Leinster, if the Lions had to play them right now, would just be too far out of reach. And I think this Leinster team, once they play all the international players, probably are the favourites to win the tournament. Yes, Glasgow's at the top, playing really good rugby, but this Leinster team with all the internationals is a phenomenal rugby team, and they honestly might have a chance to win both the Champions Cup and the URC this year. So Leinster's always a team that you're gonna fear them if you are playing them in the playoffs, especially if they are at home. You want to try get Leinster to play away from home, and I do think if the Lions were playing at home and Leinster did eventually in 5th and Lions 4th, it would be a different game, a much closer game. So right now, if it ended this way, I think Leinster would be quite happy with who they're playing against. Ulster would be playing Cardiff at home, and I do think Ulster would be very happy with that if it ended this way. But I've got this sneaky suspicion that Cardiff might be a little bit of a sitting duck right now. I do think Cardiff might be the one team from the top 8 that does fall out, and I think maybe the Bulls will be in that spot, or a Munster, or a Sharks maybe. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the tournament ends. Can Ulster keep their spot? Can Leinster work their way up? It's going to be very interesting for these Irish teams. Just looking at some of the other teams, Munster, they can beat anyone, as I said, at 7th on the log, and just outside 1 point behind 8th is Connacht. They still have to play the Sharks at home as well. They have gotten the better of the Sharks at home over the last few years, but they've also got some really tough games ahead of them. Touring to South Africa to play the Stormers in Cape Town and the Lions in Johannesburg. That has to be 2 wins from 2, or at least 1 win from 2 away from home to really call it a successful tour and try push for that top 8 spot. But overall, the Irish teams, just like the South African teams, a very solid weekend, a positive weekend. 3 wins from 4, so not a clean sweep, but Munster did do well to kind of fight back near the end of the game and get a chance to win. Not all the Irish players from the Six Nations are back yet as well. I think when they start coming back, you'll start seeing those Irish clean sweeps, especially if they start playing against bit of the weaker teams throughout the tournament. But right now it's getting to the business end of the season, and where the Irish teams are lined up is very exciting. I do think Ulster, if they can hang on and maybe get another win, can hang on to that top 4 spot and get a home quarter final. And I do think Ulster, if they do get a home quarter final spot, they'll be a very dangerous team to beat. This Ulster team at home, this could just give me the sneaky suspicion that they're going to be one of the favourites to win this tournament, and they might even take a big scalp on the way. I think if Leinster had to play Ulster at home, or a Munster, or a Bulls, or a Connacht, I just think Ulster would get the better of them. This Ulster team right now is a very dangerous team at home, and I would honestly, if my team, the Sharks, had to play Ulster, I would be very fearful. That's probably the one team I do not want to play in the playoffs. So right now, especially from a Sharks standpoint, I'd probably prefer playing against the South African team within South Africa than going to any Irish team and playing within Ireland or Scotland. Because I think right now that's probably the best case scenario. But looking at these Irish teams right now, they're looking competitive. Ulster can still fight for the top of the table. Glasgow might just fall off a cliff right now. You never know. Stormers seem to be falling off a cliff as well. Getting a bit lucky with the wins. They have played a few weaker teams. But right now, Connacht touring to the Stormers is probably going to eye that game as a big team that they can beat, because the Stormers right now are struggling and Connacht looks a bit more on the up. They've beaten Ulster, they beat Ospreys last week, they've had some good wins, they're on a bit of form, and I think those games could be games where Connacht could target a top 8 spot. But the Irish teams right now are looking very good. It's going to be a very interesting end to the year, the business end of the URC season. The whole URC right now just seems so competitive all over. I cannot wait for the next games. If you guys do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.